Hey everyone, we are back again to listen to some good music together with all of you, me and Hamad. And today we are going to listen together to Villain from Highway.
Mm-hmm.
This has been long overdue, long
Mm-hmm.
overdue. We have been trying to listen to this particular track together for a long time. And finally, so should we?
Let's get started. I'm excited about it.
All right. Three, two, one, play. I would have loved a video accompanying this one.
Same here.
The rhythm guitar is the MVP.
Hmm. The use of organs is really done well in this
It's
track.
very interesting.
Hmm.
Very Godfather-like vibe.
Typical villain vibe. Even the bass guitar is giving you the vibe of a villain.
Gangs of Wasseypur, Sons of Anarchy.
It's fit for any TV series or movie, ready to be
আমি এক
integrated.
ভিলেন সে ভালোবাসেনি আমায় আমি হেরে গেছি জীবন জুয়ায় কারণ আমি ভিলেন আমি এক ভিলেন
See,
আজ
in the
স্বপ্ন
background.
দেখি না বহুদিন কেউ আপন হয় না আমার কারণ আমি ভিলেন আমি এক ভিলেন সে ভালোবাসেনি আমায় আমি হেরে গেছি জীবন জুয়ায় কারণ আমি ভিলেন আমি এক ভিলেন আজ স্বপ্ন দেখি না বহুদিন কেউ আপন হয় না আমার কারণ আমি ভিলেন আমি পান করি ভাঙা স্বরে গান করি আমাকে কষ্ট দিলে কোনো পাপ হয় না আমি ভিলেন
The chorus I've hummed like for a week
আমি
straight.
পান করি ভাঙা স্বরে গান করি আমাকে কষ্ট দিলে কোনো পাপ হয় না আমি ভিলেন
I love this guitar part. How beautifully it is integrated.
Yes, yes.
দেখছো সবাই জীবন জীবন নাটক মঞ্চে আমি একাই আমার অভিনয়ের সাক্ষী ছায়ামু
The time signature has been managed so beautifully, so well done.
তোমরা যখন উৎসবে বিভোর দেখো না কেউ তার আড়ালে স্বপ্ন ভাঙা নষ্ট দুটি চোখ গল্প শেষে আমি নিথর সবার চোখে ঝরুক খুশির কান্না আমি পান করি ভাঙা স্বরে গান করি আমাকে কষ্ট দিলে কোনো পাপ হয় না আমি ভিলেন
The chorus is really
আমি পান করি ভাঙা স্বরে গান করি আমাকে কষ্ট দিলে কোনো পাপ হয় না আমি ভিলেন আমি এক ভিলেন আমাকে জানতে চাওয়াই বারণ আমার নেই কোনো মান অভিমান কারণ আমি ভিলেন
only bass and drum.
আমি এক ভিলেন আমাকে স্পর্শ করা বারণ আমি একাই আমার অনুপ্রেরণা
Vocally, it's really tough.
This is what I was saying, that he has emoted it perfectly. Perfectly.
There's so many episodes in this track.
কি আসে যায় দেখেছি অনেক আপন নেই নিখোঁজ তোমরা যাকে কষ্ট বলো আমি বলি সব হারানো নিঃস্ব কারো গায়ের শেষ টুকরো চাবো পৃথিবীটাই অনেক রঙিন যদি থাকে রঙিন একটা স্বপ্ন মাখা অক্ষত দুটি চোখ স্বপ্ন কবে হারিয়ে গেছে রক্তে আমার মিশে গেছে কালো কালো আঘাতে আকাশ আমার করেছি আমি শত রঙে রঙি আমি পান করি ভাঙা স্বরে গান করি আমাকে কষ্ট দিলে কোনো পাপ হয় না আমি ভিলেন তাই আমি পান করি ভাঙা স্বরে গান করি আমাকে কষ্ট দিলে কোনো পাপ হয় না আমি
I just love the use of organs in this track.
আমি পান করি ভাঙা স্বরে গান করি আমার স্বপ্নের নেই কোনো ছায়া কারণ আমি ভিলেন আমি পান করি ভাঙা স্বরে গান করি আমাকে কষ্ট দিলে কোনো পাপ হয় না আমি ভিলেন
This album has so many bangers. Shada Kalo, be there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is only the fourth track in this album, and we all know that how much you love Shada Kalu already,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, but this track was epic.
It has
Epic.
many episodes. It has many episodes, as I was saying
It's a
during the
whole
track.
movie. It's a whole movie. So I was thinking that, we were talking about how it's fitting. If we coming from Pakistan,
Hmm.
there's a huge industry around drama serials,
Hmm.
which we don't watch, of course.
Hmm.
But in those drama serials, how they are designed musically is that the music is produced like a one OST, and then they have an extended OST, which
Hmm.
is used throughout the serial,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And this is perfect example of, you this long track could be used in multiple different episodes in different
Absolutely.
settings and different,
Absolutely.
scenes of
Hmm.
different gravity, of different darkness, of
Hmm.
or different comic
Hmm.
scenes, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
was thinking of Gangs of Wasseypur, right? Gangs of Wasseypur. Gangs of
True.
Wasseypur had multiple places where they used these gangster vibe
Hmm. Hmm.
tracks,
Hmm.
right? And this could be used in multiple of
Multiple
those
ways.
places or multiple of those scenes
Hmm.
where no one is talking; they are just depicting a scene being played out,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
And yeah, that's I'm not
It's
sure if this was the intention or if it's gonna be used somewhere as such.
I mean, it's ready to be used in any TV series or movie, and it's not only the track itself. You keep on saying that if a little jingles can be made out of a track, you can just simply pick some portions and use it in the background music or background score of the scene as well, and it would
Yeah,
still come out brilliantly. Especially the organs part. I just love the use of
the
organs
organ and
throughout.
the guitars part during the credits would would
Yeah,
have its own
yeah,
fan
yeah,
base, right?
absolutely. Absolutely. So
Yeah.
this, I mean, you can just pick parts of it and play it on different occasions. This is so wonderfully done through and through. The message itself of the song, I just went through the lyrics on the Google Translate version. Obviously, it was not really it wasn't that good to understand the complete story behind it. But to me, I mean, we have heard Highway a lot. We have heard Gorgadi, this new album, entire album, Bidai, and other tracks of Highway. And there's a dark theme that goes, or it's kind of their signature style of playing dark psychedelic stuff, right? Um, the dark theme music, the psychedelic music that has been used, it's basically trade of highway songs, but this track has certain undertones of background music that you would listen in the movies of 80s and 90s, to me personally.
Yes.
And the song
Goodfellas,
probably, yeah, you mentioned Godfather
Godfather.
kind of, yeah. The use of keys, especially points to that particular feeling that I'm having. The use of keys and also the organs. And I have contrasting thoughts about the message of the song. Sometimes I feel that the song is not about what a villain feels or how he sees the world from his lens. But I sometimes feel that the song has deeper meaning and it's talking about what makes person a villain, especially the inner battle that the one goes through with his conscience. So the messaging also feels a bit dark when you look at the lyrics overall. And I think what they are trying to depict through this particular track is what's going on in the mind of a villain, how he is thinking, what the society might be thinking about him, or how he must be perceived, he would have been perceived. So I think it's interesting in that sense. Um, so it's not, you keep on saying during the university days that you shouldn't see things in black and white. There are always shades of gray in between. So I feel that this is trying to depict those shades of gray that everyone has within themselves. Some has darker shades, some has slightly darker shades, and I think that darkness is depicted in this particular track.
I had the lyrics translated pretty well. I used ChatGPT, and it
Oh,
does
okay.
a far
Then
better
Google
job than
Translate.
yeah, it does. So I read it a month ago or so, and I couldn't
Hmm.
revise what it used to say. But yeah, so it can be, and that's the beauty of it, right? It can be interpreted in multiple ways, and maybe some of our viewers can educate us of
Hmm.
what it really means, right? I also felt that there was some comic darkness in it,
Could be.
right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm. Hmm.
if you remember, there's a Coke Studio track called Rockstar
Hmm.
by Ali Zafar,
Ali Zapper.
right? And in that track, he's talking about I'm a rock star, and I
Hmm.
deserve these things,
Hmm.
and I can do these things, but in a very comic manner, in a very self-deprecating manner.
Ah, yeah.
And in here as well,
Interesting.
the lyrics is about, I'm a villain. Why would someone want me? Why would someone hurt
Hmm.
me?
Hmm. Hmm.
Stay away from me. This very self-deprecating
Hmm.
mannerism was there, but could be, yeah, could be there could be some deeper meanings. Again, the setting could define what it means, right? It could be very, this
Absolutely.
track would work on a comic dark setting. It
Hmm.
could
Hmm.
work
The
on a
dark comedy.
violent dark setting, in a
Hmm.
grim dark setting as well, right? So
Yeah.
there's this genre called grim dark.
Hmm.
It would work on grim dark, and it would work on violence. It would, depending on what you're displaying. And that's why I mentioned in the beginning that I would have loved a video. So generally,
Hmm.
I don't like videos along with audios, but this is a whole movie, right? 9 minute track, 10 minutes. It,
Yeah.
it could be a
Short movie.
mini movie,
Yeah.
right? Exactly. So yeah, the possibilities and variants could be endless, right?
Endless. Hmm.
But what I while listening to this track, although it's again, as I was saying, that I hummed it like for a week straight, and I kept imagining that if someone understood what I was humming, they would be like, yeah, why, what's happening in your life, right?
You don't love your
So
life anymore.
no, yeah. So this is the comic, dark
Hmm.
essence of it. Anyways, along with how beautiful the chorus is, or how catchy, addictive the chorus is, I felt that one of the elements that you mentioned, that their tracks are usually very psychedelic and all.
Hmm.
One key element, the usual element that was missing, was the flutes,
Flutes. Hmm.
which wasn't really missed in this track,
Hmm.
which
Hmm.
wasn't, but I felt that throughout the track, the rhythm guitars and the bass was throughout. It was very weirdly mixed in terms of the drums were at the forefront all the time.
Hmm.
The bass was there throughout, and it was, that like held everything together.
Hmm.
But the punches were actually thrown by the rhythms
Rhythms. Hmm.
throughout. I know what you mean when you say about the organs. Whenever it comes on, it adds a lot of darkness, a lot of mystery.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
But so I would love to hear some perspective from
Hmm.
Aether, from Highway itself, that what was going on.
Going on. Hmm. Hmm.
That would be very interesting to hear. But again, every single element, the guitars, whenever the lead guitars, whenever it came on, it felt like something violent is going on.
Hmm.
You know,
Hmm.
it doesn't have to be a violent scene between gangs and all. It could be an inner violence,
Inner violence.
violence
Yeah.
within,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Whenever organ came on, it felt like something, some dark thoughts,
Hmm.
some struggle, inner
Hmm.
struggle.
Hmm.
And yeah, so you mentioned that at one point there was only drums
Bass
and
and drum.
bass
Hmm.
along with the chorus, and
Hmm.
that was also, that had a completely different feeling. And I kept feeling that each part was emoted really, really well.
Absolutely.
In some
Absolutely.
places, some words were emphasized differently, some consonants, some vowels were emphasized differently.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Uh, That
it's
actually,
it's you. The
it's
more you
it's a
listen to it,
yeah. Exactly, that's what I was coming to. The more you listen to it, the more Easter eggs you would identify in terms of vocals, because the part that you just mentioned about the bass and drum, it's actually very difficult to pull off when you're vocally just challenging yourself to sing that low, and it's really tough to pull off. And I think Ether, we know he has that graveness in his voice, the gravity, sorry, in his voice, that he can pull off those notes as well. One thing that slightly bugged me was the use of drums at the forefront. I personally would have. I think there was a lot of tom toms being used during the drumming, so that on occasion was sounding really brilliant. But on some occasions, I felt that it was missing on those parts. But I mean, that could be just me. It's just a subjective thought,
No,
or
so
they
I think
intentionally
I also
experimentally
noted
did
that.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I also noted that the drums were mixed very in a very different manner,
Hmm.
and it felt like it's always on the forefront.
Hmm.
I personally I felt during one of few listens, not on the session, that I would have liked some lead guitars more. So rhythms were, as I said, for me MVP, along
Hmm.
with bass held it together, right?
Hmm.
But I would have loved some lead guitars more. But again, that's a variance. That's a variance. What
Of course.
what they have done here, in itself is brilliant. It's brilliant. It's again, as you said, that
Absolutely.
there were so many episodes, so many things, so many settings, so many sceneries
Hmm.
in
Hmm.
here. Uh, Along with, these pieces of art makes you think, right? I'm just babbling right now. And recently, 3 4 days ago, you asked me that who would you want on Coke Studio next season?
We were just discussing it
And
on
I
a chat.
mentioned,
Hmm. Hmm.
right, and I mentioned Aethers, of course,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm. Of course.
So Aethers is, I mean, amongst other people and amongst other bands,
Hmm.
Aether is someone we have loved his compositions, his arrangements, you know,
Absolutely.
all the output, pretty
Hmm.
much. You know, along with Imon Chaudhary comes to mind when it comes to arrangements, right?
Hmm.
So Aether, I would love to see what he could do there. I mean, what he's doing already is it's not that that would elevate it further, but yeah, that would be also something that I would love to see.
That would be an interesting idea. So if someone is watching from Coke Studio team, just give it a thought that probably Ether could make season 3 as well. But yeah, that's just a personal preference, I would say. This track actually has garnered a lot of views, and I think there are a couple of more tracks coming out of this album pretty soon, as far as I know. Um, and I'm actually trying to find some interview of Aether as well, as you mentioned during the this review, that I would also like to know what was going through their mind when they were composing it, when they were writing the lyrics. Was it a situation that prompted them to write such a song? That would be something interesting to know as well. But yeah, let's wrap it up over here. And this is a huge I mean, say it is already a track that can be integrated into any movie or TV series. Even if not, it's still an experience. So let us know your thoughts around it. And yeah, we'll catch up on the next one. Usual. Take care. Bye.
Bye bye.